Welcome everyone, Costin here with a discussion about Odin in Age of Mythology Retold, and why he currently is one of the most dominant gods in the 1v1 meta, alongside Poseidon and alongside Loki. Now, I've talked about Odin before, but I think things have crystallized a bit more. So first off, Odin's inherent god power, the Great Hunt. You can use it, and you should use it, to double your initial hunt, or get close to doubling that initial hunt. And yes, I am using a cheat over here. Now, that is a fairly substantial cheat over there, but just for the purposes of demonstration. So that is already a pretty-substantial benefit. Then the other benefit to take into consideration is his free scouting ability. Because once you build this first temple, you're going to get these two ravens that are just going to be able to scout around the map to allow you to get pretty much the entirety of the map under vision. That is very substantial as well. Then, gatherers and dwarves hunt 10% faster, so all of the food that these guys are generating is just going to be generated faster for you to use 10% faster. That is, in itself, a fairly substantial advantage. So scouting advantage, hunting advantage, like 10% food gathering capability in the early age is ridiculously strong, especially when you pair it with his innate god power. That, by the way, you can also use this god power in a different way than you might imagine, because what you can do with this god power is you can use it right on your town center over here to spawn a bunch of animals that you can then hunt. Now, the benefit here is that you don't have to build an ox cart, because you can send your initial ox cart, to gold while your guys are hunting over here. And that means you can get to H2 fairly quickly over here. So if I just, use it over here, you get a bit of animals. That's still 300 food. Keeping that aspect in mind, that you're going to be able to get. And this increases the more you age up. Then, your H2 choices. You either have Heimdall, who has a great deal of combat ability over here, with Gjallarhorn, that HP, that damage benefit and speed benefit for their special ability, and the upgrade that, of course, they get. But the duration of Gjallarhorn, the increased duration with Einherji upgrade, is fairly substantial. Then you can also even get a defensive benefit, reducing the building gold cost by 50%, getting 25% extra HP for sentry towers and walls. Or you can go with Freya, who doesn't have the best god power available. With Forest Fire, it's a very situational thing, but you do get the Valkyries as a unit. You do obviously get an upgrade for that, so you have a healing unit, which is pretty strong, and you can heal on the move. So, well, on the move in the sense that, across the map, but you do still have to stop to do so. And then you get 15% extra HP for your hero. So if we get Freya over here, the power that these Valkyries do have is not something that should be ignored. Nor is the fact that you're getting these kind of benefits with favor generation from raiding cavalry in particular. Because one of the favorite strategies for Odin players is to make use of a lot of these raiding cavalry and take advantage of the upgrades that they do have. The extra speed in particular, the 10% speed, is pretty substantial. Poseidon has a similar benefit. I wonder why both Poseidon and Odin are so dominant in regards to multiplayer. By the way, this UFO is really close. But then we continue on. In Age 3, you have one of the most significant power boosts that is available with any minor god in the game when you're. You get the Walking Woods, you get the Mountain Giant, you get upgrades for Kraken at sea, so you might even be dominant at sea if you encounter that, and we get Jotuns. And on top of that, this meshes very well with the raiding cavalry benefit, because they can produce gold when they're raiding. Now you look at a Mountain Giant, it's doing 26 hack attack damage, but then we upgrade it to Jotun. 25% extra HP, 25% melee attack damage, 25%, 25 speed. So he goes all the way to 4 speed, 1500 HP, 32 damage. That is substantial in itself. So Njord is one of the most powerful god choices because he allows you to do this. Now you look at these walking woods. You know, these walking woods are much better than automatons as units. It's kind of freaking hilarious. They're very durable against hack damage. Against piercing damage, so they're difficult to take down by arrows. They're pretty decent against hack damage. They have a decent amount of HP, and they do a good amount of damage, in particular against buildings, because you look at the amount of crush damage that they're doing. That is not an insubstantial benefit when you put it all together. And then in Age 4, you get Baldur. Tier, not necessarily so substantial, to be sure. Although, you know, you can get a vampiric aura ability for berserkers if you want to go for that. You can also get the Huskarl benefit against buildings. But I would never go Tyr. I think Tyr is just like really weak as the quote-unquote god of war. Whereas Baldur is the real god of war. Because you get Ragnarok. And let's consider Ragnarok as an example for a second over here, right? So let's just say, we get a bunch of these town centers. And we get a bunch of these villagers. Right? And then we use Ragnarok. Like the Ragnarok units inherently, without any upgrades, you look at these guys, they still benefit from Friggar's benefit. And then they benefit from all upgrade, from all other upgrades. It can hurt your economy quite a bit, to be sure. But this kind of army that you're seeing right here can flat out win you the game. And when you pair it with fire giants, which are again pretty solid against buildings on their own right, when you pair these guys and unupgraded ones, again remember unupgraded. But let's say you are upgrading them, right, to a reasonable level. Let's say not H4 upgrades, but H3 upgrades. You see the amount of damage, like they can survive for, they have a 46% hack damage resistance, 35% piercing damage resistance, 4 speed, and that is with the tier 3 upgrades, not tier 4 upgrades. If we go all the way to tier 4, these guys are a freaking legion of guys that are very, very hard to take down. Like ridiculous. This is, by the way, the lowest difficulty I had because I didn't want to spend the entire video dealing with that kind of stuff. But yeah, these guys are deadly. Extremely so as units. Good amount of hack damage. I'm not sure what's with those units. That is so hilarious. I gotta laugh at that. It's like flying signs of Osiris. That is fucking amazing. I mean, the AI is not benefiting from the cheats that I have. So, either way, you do have a good set of upgrades. You have a set of minor gods that work very, very well together between Freya, Njord, and Baldur in particular. Though you can also use Heimdall to great effect, because like Gjallarhorn is ridiculous with mountain giants because it makes them farm faster as units. Like, it not only does it increase their damage, but it makes them faster. So that's a ridiculous freaking level of power. And yeah, there's very little. Like, Ragnarok is so strong that they literally nerfed it in a recent patch. But I think it's just a combination of factors with Odin, because you get to tier 2, you start raiding the enemy, and even if your opponent manages to survive that, you end up in a situation where it kind of doesn't matter. Because the reason it doesn't matter is because like your opponent does still have plenty of power left by the time they get to H3. And then if you survive their H3, like Odin can then do this, which is like, freaking absurd as well. So that is the real significant power that Odin does have at his disposal. I mean, he's not the only one, right? Loki has Hel, who is very strong as well. Thor has his own benefits as well, but there's a reason why Odin is so freaking crazy right now in 1v1 games in Age of Mythology Retold across all Elo levels. I mean, I think Poseidon has gotten a bit of a nerf. I don't think it's enough of a nerf, but I really think like both Odin and Loki do deserve a significant nerf. Like, it's just that combination of factors that makes him so deadly. It's not one particular thing. It's like the healing for human soldiers, pretty damn powerful. Combined with mountain giants, combined with walking trees, combined with Ragnarok. That is all freaking absurd. Especially when you combine it with Freya. Costin, signing out. Stay tuned for more.